I just wanted to show you how I do my barley sprouts. Here's the final product right here, which is for feeding my chickens. It has a lot more protein in it. I start with barley right here, which is in this bucket, and I scoop out a whole container of that. We're almost out. I put it into this other container, which has holes in the bottom right here, as you can see on the bottom of this thing. It's the bottom of it. You can't see very well, but there's holes there. And this whole bucket, which is now being soaked for 1 day, goes into this black bucket, which is half full of water. And I just drop it in like that, and then I put a lid on it, and then the next morning I come out and it's all ready to go. What I do then, I take the barley out of this one and I dump it, which I did just a few minutes ago, into the chicken coop. The one I just did today was number 5. It takes 7 days for this to happen. This is day 7 and this is day 1, and they're all at different stages of development. I have 2 sets of trays here. On day 5, this is the water that was soaked yesterday for a full day overnight, and so you can just see it's just sitting here. And then this is the one that's going to go out tomorrow. And the one I did the day before was right here. You can see right here there's little sprouts coming up. And then the day before that, 2 days ago, you can see the little sprouts right here starting to grow. Day before that, which is 4 days ago, you can see how it progressed there. And then here on the outside, you can already see it for the day before that, which is now 5 days ago. You can see all these green things coming up, and it's basically making a barley sprouted mass. And then this is the day before that. So you can see this one. And here's the one that's going to be for tomorrow. You can see this is really massive. You can hardly get it out of the drawer tomorrow. And let me show you what I just did. I came out here from the greenhouse where this is done. And this is my chicken chute where I've dropped the sprouts down to the chickens. You can see they've already taken a good part of it out. They're eating it up like crazy. They love the sprouted barley. And from that I get real good eggs that are very orange in their yolks. This is all done in a greenhouse. This is my greenhouse right here, which I hope will be ready for winter. And I've made a contraption here on one corner of it, just above the sink, which has 14 trays, and they're numbered 1 through 7, all the way down, and then 1 through 7 again. I have a bottom tray set and a top tray set. And this is where I sprout my barley. In the winter it gets cold in here, and so I have a light on the side that automatically comes on when it's 60 degrees or less, and that just heats this whole thing up. This door shuts right here and makes kind of a compartment. It's double wrapped with plastic so that the light comes in, and but the heat stays in. I also have an automatic timer here which controls the light, and on top there's also another controller, which is this thing right here, and I can't see it, but on the back side of it is a controller which shows the my setup. And it allows me to do the watering 4 times a day, and so I have this watering 4 times a day for 5 minutes each time. So it's evenly spaced. If I pull this top one out, you can see there's a little wire or a little line that comes up here, goes around the top and comes right in the middle, and that drips out onto this tray right here that I just pulled out, which in turn drips from this top one down to that one, and it just drops, and they're alternating where the holes are. Right now you can see on this number 4 tray, the holes are on this side, and the next one down the holes are on this right side, and then they just oppositely flow all the way, trickling all the way down until the last one, which is 7B. It comes out the front, which goes right into the sink. So that's how I do the barley, and it seems to be working really good in my greenhouse. I also have a greenhouse here with a bunch of plants on one side and on the other. These are both 2-foot wide beds, and this one on the left here is about 20 feet long. It slopes all the way down, so in the whole length it goes down at least a foot. And there's gravel on the bottom of 2 inches and sand. And so as the water flows in, it flows into here and then it goes out the end. And I have it right now going into this little bucket here. So I'm going to take this bucket and dump it on top of here, just so that the water is all self-contained and reused again and again. On this other side, which is this side, I have a hugelkultur on the bottom here. There's a big logs on the bottom about 4 inches in diameter that this soil goes right into right here. And so the plant roots go down into the hugelkultur, which holds the water really well. I actually did a little hole here, you can see, right down into the water, or into the bottom, into the hugelkultur. So when I have my hand extended down there, that's the depth of the hugelkultur, which is about from here to there, all the way down. And you can see I have different plants here. I have lots of cherry tomatoes. I have eggplant. I have peppers growing. And this is another pepper. This is a stevia plant, which we recently harvested by chopping it off. And I also have both sides growing onto each other. This one, you can see these baby cucumbers are all over the place. I try to pick them when they're pretty small, and it works really good. So here's another pepper that's really going well, and another tomato plant that's almost ready to turn red. These are big tomatoes. Most of the other tomatoes I have are on this other side, which are red, and some of them are cherry tomatoes too. So I also have on the far end of this greenhouse 2 big tanks that are 250 gallons each that are for heat absorption. And underneath this bed on the north side, there are 7 barrels that are black that also keep the water in. And I have different varieties of things happening here. On the end here, I have these tubes that go right down into the ground. You can see these underneath this wire mesh. They go way down deep, about 4 feet deep. And the air is pushed down from the greenhouse through these fans right down into the ground, into those end pipes, and bringing the air up from the ground and keeping this warmer in the winter. In the summer, it just does the opposite. I blow the air through. And this summer, I haven't got over 96 degrees Fahrenheit all summer long in the greenhouse, which is quite remarkable. So I'm quite pleased with that. In the winter, we'll see what happens. This right here is lemon mint. Here's carrots. And if you dig down here, you can see how lovely the carrots look. Look at that carrot. Isn't that looking great? I'm not going to pull it out. Here's celery right here, you can see coming up. And of course, more tomatoes and other things like that. I hope you've enjoyed my greenhouse tour. It's kind of quick, and anyway, it's very fun to do.